Alright, this is Robot Sharks. I'm going to tell you how to draw a character consistently. So, the thing is, you can't expect to draw a character perfectly every time. Like, even this guy, he doesn't look the same here and here at all. Even though you can tell it's the same character, though, sort of. The thing is, it's not about drawing the character perfectly every time. It's about making the character recognizable every time. Because when you make a comic, you want to know which character is who. Like let's say defining factor that's going to separate your two characters. You have like this one guy, and he looks like this. If you draw like all your characters the same way, then no one's gonna figure out who's who in this world. Like which one's which. They're gonna have to look for very tiny details in order to be able to tell your characters apart. And even if you have same face syndrome, in which case like you draw all your faces the exact same way, though I highly recommend facial variants when it comes to this. And you just and then you can only tell the difference by their hair and maybe their coloring. But you want to be recognizable from the line art itself. So when it comes to making a recognizable character, it's all about pushing and pulling traits. So you have a regular face, right? Just your regular average face that I made too tall. Some eyes that look super duper good. Just kidding. So just some guy, some donkus, right? Well, he has some recognizable traits, see? He's got like his short hair. He's got a soft smile and a wide face. But so if you wanna like, it's best to push and pull traits. So let's give him some thicker eyebrows. Let's give him a really big smile. Maybe an undercut of some sort to make that hair more interesting, or it does this kind of thing. He has a cleft chin. And he has a bit of wrinkles under his eyes from being freaked out all the time, and he's a tough guy. There you go. And if you want to draw this guy again, then he's gonna be stocky. He's a stocky guy. He's gonna be immediately recognizable if you see a guy that looks. This is called a silhouette, just so you get an idea for his body shape. That you'd be able to recognize him even in shadow. Yes, you have a body type like that. He's short, stocky, and has a good attitude. So that's a character you'd be able to recognize, you know, among your other ones. So the best part is you're gonna draw him. You're gonna draw your character doing different faces and standing in different ways, but you just have to keep your checklist in mind to make him recognizable. So what's the checklist for this guy? Undercut, starting from the top down. Undercut, poof hair, so it just poofs out. You know, it's voluminous. Thick eyebrows. Thick brows. And he has like a flat nose. He doesn't have like much of a bridge or anything like that. It's just kind of like if you saw him from this angle, it'd be like a little nose. Flat nose, crooked smile, cleft chin, Eye wrinkles, I want to forget those. Those are smile wrinkles. Stocky. And there you go. So it's always good to have a reference on hand, but at one point you're just going to have to remember and buy those traits. Hold on, wait, square face. That's important to know. So imagine all you have is this list, and this guy is bye-bye. Like, goodbye, forever. You're like, oh my god, what's my character? Well, I still have this list, this important list of its traits and what makes it recognizable. And you know what a stocky short person looks like. Well, I'm short too. What a stocky short person looks like, just by like knowing your silhouette. Silhouettes are optional. It's just a pretentious art thing. So let's see. We got this guy. He's got a square face, apparently. All right. He has an undercut. That's cool. Oh, his hair is poofy, so it's like that, I guess. But I didn't put fro hair. I just put poofy. Thick brows. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't say he had a big forehead, so let's move those back up. There you go. And he has eye wrinkles, a flat nose, a crooked smile, and a cleft chin. And he's a stocky, thick boy. He does not look like pretty much the same character, you know, just by going on those lists of traits. And that's how it is for my characters. And the way I remember how to draw them always is by just remembering the list. So let's do Eli. He's pretty recognizable. Like Eli, what do we know about him? He has spiky hair. Kind of a long face, but more importantly, big forehead, and a long nose, a bit hooked, and longish face, but not too long, not as long as Medina's. Longish face. Beauty marks. I'll draw a little diagram. The eye, the chin, and the forehead. That's where they're located. And let's see. And he's tall and thin. And he has eye bags. Alright, so just based on that, we can make an Eli that you'll be able to tell from any panel if you just draw him with those traits. It could even be like a completely different art style and you'd be able to recognize him. That's why the cartoony panels work, because you can still tell which character is which. So with Eli, even if I was doing it as simply as possible, like alright, we got a longish face. Whoops. A longish face. He's got spiky hair, right? His forehead's big, so his eyes are down here. He has a long nose. He's got beauty marks here, here, and here. His eye bags. And he's tall, and he wears a tie. Doesn't that still sort of look like Eli? Like, even, like, at the bare minimum. Eyebrows, too. Even at the bare minimum, that's still, you just be like, oh, is that, like, a really shitty Eli? I'll do the spiky hair better. Yeah, that's better. Like, oh, is that a really shitty Eli? Yeah, but you can tell who it is. That's all that matters in a comic. Like, it's impossible to just try to make your art style just insanely consistent. You just need to, because, like, I'm never gonna draw Eli the same way every single time. Like that's just unrealistic. Like, hey, I'm Eli, and I like paperwork and not dancing. And then dot dot dot. There you go. And poopsie. That would be like a very quick little Eli. I just love the neck shadows. Like, oh, that's Eli right there. Can I try drawing that exactly again? But like, see, it's not as loose or fun when you try to draw just exactly how you did before. Like, consistency is good, but recognizability is more important. That's not the same guy at all. Not even close. Because I'm following off of a reference instead of these lists of traits that give me just kind of like this fresh look. But I mean, when you want to try to when you can't capture a certain thing, that's when you need to that's when I think the character reference is most important. Like, you know, for clothing and stuff is really important, but when you try to emulate the exact same thing, this is what I mean. So like, if I'm trying to draw the exact same way, like, no, I don't want that. But if I need to draw like a different expression or a different angle, and I'm gonna need that because I just want to know what those things look like in when I change the perspective in it. I think I want to have him looking over here. His eye bags. You know, I want to keep that trait list up there. And his big forehead. And his spiky hair. See, those don't look exactly the same, but you can tell who's who. And that's the most important thing that matters when it comes to comics. And consistency will come with time. You know, consistent art style and stuff like that. It comes with time. But but don't let it hinder your growth wanting to draw things exactly the same all the time, because then you'll get stuck in a comfort zone and your art won't change. You won't have any style developments. You can't try new things if you just focus on staying the same instead of staying recognizable. So I think that's all you need to know. Remember, you got a list of traits. You can have a reference, but when it comes to it, it's just all about recognizability. And thank you. Goodbye.